Hi everybody, today it's a sunny day, so I have a very sunny project for you. Art journal in my altered book. It's Asia Marke here, Lemon Creation. Thank you so much for stopping by. So let's start. This is my very cherished and very new, even though it looks very old, art journal or altered art journal book. I work in old books sometimes, the ones which nobody wants anymore, and so I am changing them into art journaling. For this project I'm gonna make a mix of heavy gesso and absorbent ground from Golden. That's the very first time I do it. I don't know what effect it's gonna give me, if it's gonna be a little bit different or not at all. The thing is, with gesso, your colors get dull a little bit when you apply them. The gesso has this tendency to actually dull the colors, while the absorbent ground, it doesn't. The colors with absorbent ground are really beautiful as they are, and so I decided just to mix those two of them and to see the difference, because absorbent ground doesn't cover as well as the gesso the pages, so if you cover with absorbent ground, it's a little transparent. And so, without waiting to dry, I am adding a little bit of stenciling with cream paste from Stamperia and my stencil, one of my best sellers ever. I have to say that this stencil is really cool and I'm really happy I designed it, because it works really well, like a magic, and it's very versatile, and I use it for a lot of projects, and as I said, it's selling very well. It's called Back to Square One. And if you want to see it, of course, I'm going to give you a link to my shop in the description box below. So as you can see, the page is not dry. I had to hold it with my fingers to be able to take out the stencil. And I decided to add a little bit more of the stenciling in the right hand side over there. And once again, I have to hold the page to, to remove the stencil. And because the page is not dry, some of the stenciling, especially on the edges, it got a little bit of messiness to it, so I removed it, and the additional paste I add to the page, and as you can see, because the stencil wasn't dry, it gave me some additional funky texture on the page, which is cool also. I'm gonna be using this time two of Lindy's, actually three, you're gonna see in a moment, of Lindy's gang colors, red, orange, and later I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow, because while adding those two colors I realized that they are too close if it comes to the color to each other, and I wanted a little bit of contrast. So here it is, the first one. Of course, the full list of products you're gonna get in the description box below, so don't worry about that. I'm gonna give you the list of the names. And here it is, the Summer Lovin Sun, which will give me a little bit of contrast. It's very hard to actually spray them when the book lies flat, because you have to hold the sprays flat also. So it doesn't work very well, but the moment you actually turn the sprays so they are vertical, they spray quite well. And I'm adding a little bit of water so the paint can run a little bit widely, and I don't see this actually like circular splatter stains, I think. And of course, very handy tissue to remove a little bit of excess of the paint. I wanted also to add a little bit of paint to the whole page, so it isn't that striking white, and just the way to do it is to spray from a distance and then dab it off with the tissue. I don't use any more baby wipes, or I try at least not to use baby wipes, so that's why I'm using tissues, normal tissues, like paper ones, and I think they are more ecological. And they are actually quite handy. I have them always on my desk, so you know I know where to look for them. They do not dry if I don't close the box very well, which happens. And I added a little bit while drying, a little bit of paint again while drying the page. And here I am adding the leftovers from my acrylic stickers. Recently I made acrylic stickers because the old ones I had in my shop, they sold out. So I needed to make more acrylic stickers, and I kept the leftovers, not all of them because I don't have that much place to keep it. And those are also the leftover stickers which either I'm using or I'm giving you in the envelopes right now as a small example a small sample rather than example, so you can use it also. Because I had a question from some of you that, oh, are they not watercolor soluble? No, they are not. They are acrylic stickers and they are on the matte paper and they should not at all react with water. So I'm gonna, as you can see, they are gluing or adhering to the page quite well, but you can of course always add a little bit of more, how do you call it, glue, to be sure they stick well. And now I'm using my Stabilo Woody. It's a huge crayon. I don't know what I've done with my small watercolor or like a rather regular watercolor crayons, and because this one was just in front of me, I use this one, but it's much harder to make lines with it, as you can see, because it's a huge crayon. And you have to be also careful when you do that. This is the crayon which reacts with water, as you can see right now here. So I'm adding with a brush a little bit of water, and this is very or highly pigmented crayon, so you need to be careful with that, because if you do your lines too strong, later you might not be happy with the effect, so be careful. If you have watercolor crayons, maybe they would be better, or you can replace it always with all Stabilo pencil, which is super cool also, but it's not as black as this crayon, and I wanted to actually have black touches. And so, as you can see, I am adding water and I am dabbing it off with the tissue to be sure that you know, it's not as black as it would stay if I didn't use the tissue. I didn't want the black color because, as you can see, the page is not black, it's not that dark, and I didn't want to make it dark, because the moment I put the round sticker on the table, on the page, I realized that this is gonna be a page about the sun, or rather a sunset. So here we go. I don't want to add too much of black elements yet again, as I keep on repeating always. I love my black for the contrast. I think it works super well when you are a little bit lost on your journaling, or it's just even when you just want to do some page and you know, you add black, it usually gives you this beautiful contrast. The page pops up straight away. And I'm gonna be using my really silly words. I was thinking to use the white example or white sentence, but because in my words you have both sentences in white and black, I didn't like the white. I chose finally to go for the black one. So I'm gonna leave it here, and then I thought that the right hand side page is a little bit I don't know, it's missing black, so I use a scrap paper, of real scrap paper. You've seen it, there was some painting done on it, which didn't work obviously. And so I glue a little bit of that to the page, and I'm gonna cut it to the size. And as you can see, before I start doing the art journaling, I forgot completely about gluing the pages, because normally when I do art journaling I glue the pages together, 2-3 pages together. So on the right hand side I didn't glue the pages together. That's why you've seen that there is some seepage visible, but I'm gonna do it later on for the next page. There are gonna be pages glued in, and so everything will work fine. And I add some scribbling, I think it's called, with my Uni Pin eyeliner and no eyeliner, fine liner. I'm so sorry guys. And this is it for the page. I hope despite my English mistakes, you still enjoy this video, you still enjoy this page. You don't need too much to make a nice beautiful page. I wish you all a really sunny, lovely day and a lot of creativity, and I hope I'm gonna see you in my next video. Thank you so much for subscribing, by the way. See you guys, bye bye, big kisses.